Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another lunch break, and I'm going to be graced by an amazing, fabulous person. Her personality is incredible. Her laugh is contagious. I'm going to be joined by Bryce Dallas Howard in just a few moments. I'm going to first ask you guys how you're doing. What's going on where you're at? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're doing. Maybe do a little emoji of the emotion you're feeling right now. And maybe since Bryce is of course a movie star, comment the latest movie you've seen, whether it's streaming or it's on YouTube, whatever. Let me know what you've been watching, what you guys have enjoyed, what TV shows I should watch. But I'm gonna see if Bryce has joined us. There she is. So excited for this because Bryce, I got to work with her a couple years ago on Hello,
Hi!
how are you?
I'm so good. How are
Okay,
you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for doing this. You're an amazing person. Are you back? Where are you right now?
I'm on the East Coast. I'm in New York. I'm in
Okay,
upstate New York, and I'm here with my family. And
awesome.
my kids actually, when I told them this morning that we were going to chat, my daughter walked outside, shut the door, let out a scream, came back in, and was like, "Okay, I'm
I
ready
love
for
it.
you to do
I
this."
love it. Yeah, someday I'll have to meet them and we'll do a
So
magic trick or something in front of them, freak him out. Zoom, like maybe a Zoom prank.
they'd go crazy.
That'd be hilarious.
So,
Thank you for doing this. And I saw you you were live about a month ago, or I saw this clip on YouTube where you did this really cool creative breakdown. Like it sounds like you talked a little bit about stuff that you teach at Tisch from your syllabus. I loved it because you recommended books that I had been clinging on to for the last couple of years as well. So I was like, oh, yes, I'm glad. I love that in that because people look up to you and they say, "Oh, creative genius," right? Like you're an amazing actress, director, but it feels like the muse is always upon you. But you broke it down like, no, there's days where it's not, but I just put in the work, and this is what I read. And so I love. Thank you for sharing all that.
oh my
Um,
gosh, Zach, no, thank you. And I'd like to say as well, I mean, I teach a class at NYU Tisch, and I refer to you and all the work that you're doing and all
no
the
way.
tools that you're offering filmmakers. It makes it so accessible. It's so smart. And honestly, I mean, I think that's what more often than not, like what folks just need to hear is just to be encouraged to just continue creating, continue generating, continue growing. Because at the end of the day, of course, it's wonderful to make it in the traditional sense, but really what an artistic practice is about mastery.
Yeah.
And if you're focusing on that and focusing on just being kind of like the best that you can be at whatever thing you're interested in, well, that's going to get you somewhere. It just is. So thank you so much, because it's so wonderful everything that you offer. And yeah, it just makes film school available for everyone.
What do you teach at Tisch? Because last year was your first year teaching there. For are you like
Yeah,
an adjunct professor? How does that work?
yeah. I'm on faculty there. I've done technically 3 years, 2 years, 3 semesters. I'm
Okay.
about to start again in the fall. And that's been something that I've wanted to do forever, and has been such a privilege. And specifically, it's focused on actors, the drama department,
Hmm.
who are multi hyphenates, who are interested in filmmaking, who are interested in writing, who are interested in being an influencer, just
Hmm.
creative
Yeah.
individuals who have a lot of skills and a lot of skill sets. And at the end of the day, it's like we've got to create our own opportunities. We really do. And I think that the key is having a creative community. I mean, I'm getting the chance to work with you, Zach, was so much fun because it's you, but it's like your team.
Right.
And you all have been doing it forever and you're passionate about it. And whether or not people are tuning in, like you would still be doing it. Like that is
Right.
abundantly clear.
So how did you get? Because your schedule, I imagine, is insanely booked out for periods of time. How can you commit to teaching at a school?
Well, it's something that it's a commitment. And so, I mean, I am not necessarily there every single class,
Hmm.
but I really try to be. Like I've flown in on occasion for
Yeah.
a class, and then I'm like, bye. But but you know, even now we're seeing like that with technology and whatnot, we want to be in the room with one another, especially as creators. But there are limitless possibilities, and who knows what's happening in terms of education in the future. My children are home now, and we're homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just grateful for this. I'm grateful for the technology, so that kind of no matter what, we can continue connecting. We can continue you know, with our work and in some respect with our lives.
Were you guys already homeschooling, or is that now just because of this time period?
No. Yeah. And this will only last for that period of time.
That's funny.
Yeah. And yours are younger, right?
Mine are younger, so they're not in school, but we do a couple activities on Zoom with a few people who help with speech therapy, or trying to interact with them, with even their friends, just Skyping some of their other 3-year-old friends. It's like they haven't had those park play dates in 9 weeks or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But
no, it's a gift.
How old are your kids now?
They're 8 and 13.
8 and 13. Okay, yeah. You're ahead of me. But what advice? And I'm curious, since you did the documentary Dads, which I watched last night with my wife. We were eating deep dish pizza, had a glass of wine. I was crying. I was laughing. I loved the journeys. I especially loved Robert's story from Virginia. Like that one got me. Him and his wife just, doing everything for their kids, trying to change the next generation for their family. And I so respect the work he was putting in. But all the stories, even though I didn't relate to all of them, touched me in a different way. And I would look over my wife's, we just went through the same emotions. And of course,
that's so good.
There was a point too, we were loving it halfway through, and then my kids start crying, and we're like, oh, that's, we get annoyed with our kids all of a sudden, but then we start watching, we're like, oh, we love our kids. So we went through the full range of emotions. But after you made that, were there different takeaways that you had that you would give me advice of what is a dad, and what should I do? Because it is very gray in this time in history.
Yeah, it's not talked about as much in parenting from the dad's perspective. And I think one of the beautiful things that's really emerged from the internet in the last 10 plus years are daddy bloggers and folks who are basically inviting audiences into their lives to see what their day-to-day is like. And for me, what was really awesome, interviewing all of these hero dads, of course, but also interviewing all of the comedians, because they had so much advice. And so this is Will Smith, who I saw give you a shout out, Zach.
What? When?
Did you see that Will Smith gave you a shout out?
No. Today? When did I get a shout out?
You'll see.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you need to check it out. Yeah, you need to go on his Instagram stuff. So it was great because I was getting to talk with these dads who have all, they see their lives through the lens of comedy. They're comedians like Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, just Hassan Minhaj, just awesome minds and talents. And they're in the thick of it with parenting, and just hearing their perspective on what it takes to be a dad, the heroism, the humility, the patience, just all of it. It was so inspiring for me as a parent. And I think the thing that, as a mom, you do so much and you want credit, I want credit. But what I realized interviewing all of these fathers is that dads are not given hardly any credit. In fact, it's assumed that they're not that involved. They're not that engaged. When actually the truth is the majority of fathers, the vast majority of fathers, are absolutely remarkable and completely engaged. And I think, this period of time for all of us has definitely made that all the more a prominent discussion in our day-to-day lives, because we're just, we're with our families. So I would say there's no advice. It's just that I think that dads, I want to acknowledge dads, and I'm so excited because the movie is actually coming out on Apple.
Are you allowed to say when it's coming 19th. Out? What day?
Yeah, June 19th.
Yes.
June 19th. So it's Father's Day weekend.
Oh, that's great timing.
And it's just, it's meant to be something to really, just to celebrate fathers. And it's, it's through the lens of humor, but like you said, you know, it's hopefully touching, because these dads are just so incredible and so inspiring and so just full of heart.
Yeah, I love it. I guess the advice that I would ask for from you, because Conan touched on it, and it kind of it pinged me in a way. I'm like, I've had a lot of those thoughts where he I think he said he delivered his baby, and then he's like, I got to go make television the next day. And in the entertainment industry, because it is so demanding, I mean, are there just strong hard outs and limitations you carve around your schedule, like as an entertainer yourself who's so commonly booked and on shoots and development and pre-pro, like, are you just saying, hey, there's a period of a month where I'm going to be home, or what does that look like in your schedule?
That's a great question. The answer is no. I'm always wanting to be employed, is the honest answer.
Yeah.
So, but what's interesting is, and this is something that I share with all of my students, is you sort of would think like, oh my gosh, it's a constant sort of like busy hustle. And it is, but that hustle is not necessarily like in front of the camera, networking with people. Like, it's at home, it's writing, it's growing, it's challenging myself, it's personal development. Because a lot of the opportunities that arise for actors, people often don't know that it's usually because the actors have created those opportunities for themselves. A great example, probably the best example that I've witnessed, is Octavia Spencer. She just wasn't going to wait for anyone else to hand her a career. And she's done it many times, where she's almost been like a muse for a project. And like, you're like, oh, there it is again, getting nominated for an Oscar. What's the what's the common factor? Oh, it's Octavia.
Yep, Octavia.
So it's that in terms of my family, I feel very lucky, because I was raised in an environment where my parents were bringing me on set constantly. And so I felt really comfortable to be on set, and I've since felt very comfortable to bring my own kids on set. That's not a normal job. Like, that's not normal at all. And so, so oftentimes when I'm actually shooting, I'm seeing my kids even more, because we've relocated. And at that
So
time,
you bring them with you, whether you're shooting in Australia or wherever?
Yeah. I mean, now it's like the last couple of years, I've actually been directing full time, which has been wonderful. And I got to direct on The Mandalorian.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Amazing.
It's very fun. And then this last year, we moved back to LA, because I was directing on the second season as well. And so it's one of those things that, you know, like, yeah, they came with me. They went to the local schools out there, and then we came back, and when my husband has gone on location in Canada, like, my daughter was born in Canada, because he was shooting a show called Fringe there at the time.
Yep.
And so she's our Canadian baby. So, you know, it's like that was my childhood, and my parents approached it in such a healthy way. And it was such a privilege, like such a huge privilege as a kid to be around that. That's kind of more what the lifestyle is like. But then also, I don't, you know, I'm not constantly employed. I'm constantly working on something, but I'm not constantly like employed where it's like, yep, okay, 5 a.m., here we go. And I'm back at, 11 p.m. That's not common necessarily.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of, you came from a movie-loving family, movie-making family. I have a little game. It's emojis. And so what they are is they're little emoji kind of clues that help you can guess the movie.
Right. Okay.
This one is...
I have to guess the movie. And this is just like any movie.
This could be any movie, but it has to do with, I guess, a skeleton, a bride, and I don't know what that is. I actually don't know what that is. No flesh?
Any movie. It's not like Nightmare Before Christmas, or like, no, not Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'll give you, this will be your starter. Yep, Corpse Bride. There you go. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
These are kind of more classic movies, but let's see.
Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada, which is an amazing movie.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Like okay. The dinosaur. Oh wait, no, that's Jurassic.
Yep.
Is that Jurassic?
Jurassic.
I love it. I had the hardest time with that one. Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries. You are right. What about this one?
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight. Yep.
Yay!
Okay, let's
I
do.
love this game, Zach.
Okay.
I've never
Yeah,
played
you're
this
a killer
before.
at this game.
Oh, I don't know this one.
No, you know this one. Make your dad proud. Make your dad. I think your dad did this one. Yeah.
Angels and Demons.
Yes.
Thank you. I was going to say Beauty and the Beast. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. One last one. You're killing it. You killed them all.
Apollo 13.
Another one of your dad's, one of my favorite films that he's
Zach,
done.
I don't normally feel very confident with games, and you just made me feel so good.
That's because anyone can do emojis. Do your kids have phones now? Do they text you?
They don't have phones yet.
Oh, is that an active for your
illegal.
13-year-old? That's probably a pretty active conversation, right? Like, when am I getting a phone? When am I getting a phone?
Mm-hmm.
What's the parenting? What's the parenting? What's your guys' rules on that?
It's we let him have access to texting while here for like 3 weeks, and then we checked out some of those texts, and then we were like, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait just a little bit longer.
Take it kid by. I think you take it kid by kid, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it's yeah, you're just kind of figuring out the maturity level. I mean, I don't feel like I'm really mature enough to be able to like handle myself on a phone practically. So, so addictive. It's like someone told me recently, she was like, she has a 13-year-old son, and she was like, yeah, it's sort of like when I took the phone away and he's like, when am I going to get it back? It's sort of the question is like, when is it a good time to start an addiction again? I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we had Ariana Huffington on a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about she puts her phone in a different room from where she sleeps. So I started trying that since it's probably 2 weeks ago, and it's so difficult. And I found myself 2 nights ago walking to my office in the middle of the night to go, like almost sleepwalking to go check an email. But it's just ridiculous how addicted we don't even know.
It's like you're either sleepwalking to the fridge or to the phone.
Or to the phone, yeah. I want to thank you for the time today. You're so sweet. And again, remind people that Dads is coming out. You said June 19th. Yes. And it's an Apple original, right? So that's on Apple TV?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
awesome.
Totally.
Yeah, excited. Anything else you want to talk about that you're working on? Are you doing any, can you say if you're doing any more Mandalorian?
Yeah. No, I'm directing on season 2 of Mandalorian.
Oh, that's confirmed. Yes. Okay, great.
All done, and that's been
my
awesome.
last nerd question from a filmmaking I'm wanting to know is, do you got to work with the 360, like the LEDs, volume. Right?
The volume.
So
yes.
Is that gonna be the next, like the next big tech change to VFX? And do you think that's actually gonna catch on?
I mean, I of course, having been kind of like come of age, so to speak, learning that technology as a filmmaker, I'm invested in yes, absolutely. I want that to be the future of an aspect of filmmaking for sure. I mean, one thing that was really amazing about Mandalorian is that we didn't shoot any of that on location. That was all shot in Manhattan Beach, like all of it. All of it.
Mind blowing when you guys announced that.
That's Jon Favreau. That's his passion, is really, making these breakthroughs, that align storytelling and technology and really show us what's possible with the magic, like it's incredible. So also, on Disney Gallery, I think it's called, and it's on Disney Plus. Okay. There's like behind the scenes, like a documentary about Mandalorian. So the first episode came out last week. The second episode just landed. And it's a behind the scenes look of the first season of Mandalorian and kind of all that technology, all that fun, all that adventure. It was just awesome. Such a privilege to be part of it.
Yeah, I've seen the stuff on YouTube, but I haven't seen that documentary, so I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
All right. Thank you so much, Bryce. Tell your kids hi.
And
thank you, and be safe, and we'll be excited to watch the next stuff that you're working on.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Later.
Later.
That was Bryce Dallas Howard. She's so sweet, as you guys saw. I'm going to link a little story after this so you can go check out her page, follow what she's up to. She's doing so many incredible projects. And again, the documentary that we were talking about was called Dads, and you can check that out June 19th on Apple TV. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you next Monday here at 11 a.m. All right. Later.